I wanted to do what I do whenever we have a birthday or a milestone and thank you all and everything, and we'll get to that. But your question and my conversation with Mary has actually prompted something for me, which I'd also like to investigate, because education is something that I'm highly impassioned about. Two things. The one is, and I stand to be corrected on this, my understanding, and it's part of why the varying provinces have different lengths of holiday, is that part of the origin of school holidays is related to how our crop cycles worked. So that if you were a kid who was in Gauteng, if you were a kid in KZN, if you're a kid in the Western Cape, sometimes children would go home and assist at harvest time. And it had more to do with the agrarian nature of our early economy, and allowing children to fit into the family schedule in that way than necessarily some kind of cerebral or psychological impact. That's the first thing. So they're still working even in the holidays. The second thing is I read this awesome thread, and I'm sorry that I don't have it immediately at hand. It just popped into my mind, by a PhD in education who made a very interesting point, saying, education is one of the things we are most ignorant about as human beings. There are many disciplines that are maybe thousands of years old, like Chinese medicine or even Western medicine, but we only something like 200 or so years into actually understanding education and how education should work, and that we are actually still in the middle of a massive experiment, to the extent that we haven't figured out whether or not box learning, I can't remember the term that he used, but basically, piggy bank learning, which is the suggestion that a child is an empty piggy bank and you just stuff them full of coins of knowledge, and that will create educated, wise human beings who can go into the world, is still a theory that has yet to be tested. Because when you meet a child already before they get to school, they already have much knowledge they've acquired from their lives. They have thoughts, they have opinions, they have reactions, they have personality traits. And so the idea that there are some sort of a leegbakkie into which you shove knowledge is not necessarily the appropriate one, but it is the one that has been generally accepted around the world. All this to say, I'm not a person who really subscribes to let's do it this way because it's the way we've always been done. It's always been done. I'm a person who says, let's give it a shot. And I think that COVID-19 may be giving us an opportunity to give it a shot. Not only COVID-19, but the desperate state of our educatedness across the country. I don't think we can use the old rules to catch up to a new world that's already got new rules up ahead. If one more politician says fourth industrial revolution without being able to define it, we're all going to be stuck in the fourth industrial revolution when the rest of the world is in the ninth. It may be time for us to revisit, and I think Mary's right, and I'd like to do a bit of research or get experts on, to revisit why it is we do things the way we do. Are our school holidays really driven by some kind of an intelligent analysis, or was it convenient for the family unit? Are children really just receptacles in which to stuff knowledge in the way that we have seen the world, or is there space for us to allow them to explore? And are the disciplines that we keep on pushing onto them designed for a world they never knew and we never know, still appropriate when completely new tools are developed for a world we will never know? These are questions I think are critical for us to ask, not just to keep on lurching from one crisis to the next. And I feel very strongly about that.
Breakfast with Refilwe Moloto
on Cape Talk.